Pete, the search is over at Baylor as former Temple coach Matt Rhule was announced yesterday as the new head coach of the Baylor football team. First, from strictly a football perspective here, how would you grade this hire?
You know, Ryan, it's a very interesting hire because culturally, in a couple different ways, it's a weird fit. Matt Rhule is more of a pro-style, hard-nosed kind of coach. In Baylor, it obviously run the hyper Art Briles spread tempo system there. And geographically, it's a little bit of an odd fit, too. Matt Rhule is from Pennsylvania. He's kind of a Northeast guy. So this was by far, to me, the most surprising and unexpected hire of the coaching carousel. If you're Baylor, you get one of the best names on the board. I mean, Matt Rhule is, I believe, got 9-3 consecutive years at Temple. He won the American Conference title game this year, so I guess he went 10-3, and has had Temple, which was once the paragon for college football futility, ranked nationally at the end of the last two regular seasons. So it's an impressive hire for Baylor, considering the depths that program's plummeted to.
You mentioned Rhule from Pennsylvania. He has no ties to the state of Texas. How much of an effect will that have, and challenge is it for him when it comes to recruiting?
Well, the fascinating part of this hire will be how he constructs the staff. Obviously, he's got to hire some guys. Texas high school coaches love Texas coaches. It is one of those weirdly incestuous things. So, and Matt is certainly savvy enough as the son of a high school coach to know that. And I really think he's going to, have to hire a bunch of staff from that area. And then how does he set up the program stylistically on offense? That's what I'll be curious to hear in the upcoming days.
All right, in the aftermath of the sexual assault scandal at Baylor, many feel not only a coaching change was needed, but a complete overhaul of the culture at Baylor has to happen. What steps do you think Rhule needs to do immediately to take charge and ensure that change happens right away in Waco?
Well, the good thing for Matt there, Ryan, is that, he's going to be aligned with the new athletic director there, Matt Rhodes. And Matt came in the wake of the scandal in place of Ian McCaw. And Mac and Matt are tight from their days in the American Athletic Conference when Mac was at Houston, where he hired Matt's good friend, Tom Herman. And so there is a strong relationship there. The hard part of the Baylor job is going to be the unintended consequences of the scandal that are still simmering. You're going to deal with headlines that say gang rape that you've had nothing to do with, and there's just a general stigma around that university that's going to have to take a little while to lift off. So that is part of that is going to be part of the fight there. Problems that he had nothing to do with creating, but it's going to have to do somewhat with fixing.
Yeah, you mentioned AD Mack Rhodes. He said the school was looking for a coach that shared, quote, our values. Now, as a school as a whole, many of those values were called into question during the university's handling of the sexual assault scandal. What values do you think Rhule brings to Baylor, and is it really about the relationship between Rhodes and Rhule that makes this hire work?
Yeah, well, Matt Rhule has an impeccable reputation as a human being in the coaching industry. He's certainly well known throughout that industry as just one of the better people. A great anecdote about Matt is I went to one of their practices this summer. We were talking about coaches who limit NFL scouts, and he said, "Well, would the business department limit the access J.P. Morgan has to the students? They're potential employers. Of course, they're welcome here anytime and can stay as long as they want." I thought that was like a good little insight into how Matt thinks a little bit differently than maybe some other coaches who are paranoid lockdown guys.